Well, hello again. We've already seen each other today for the first time in a while. That was really nice. I hope you all enjoyed it today. So, I'm just going to have a quick chat with you about what I've been seeing during the week. Like we were saying, I didn't have the same chance to look at the work as I usually do because of all the time going in and out of school, but I did have a good look at the projects that have come in so far, and I just want to talk a little bit about that because they were fantastic. So, first of all, to Irish reading, huge amount of you have sent in your Irish reading and recorded that this week, probably the most we've ever had. So that was really excellent. I've had reading in from Olivia and Juliana, from John Tong, from Aaron, from Anthony, from Eris, Sam, Victor, Casper, and possibly a few others that I might not have seen just yet. I also saw Alva and Elijah turn theirs into a little drama, so that was really cool. But let me talk about the projects for a minute. I know not everybody has had a chance to send theirs in yet, and that's okay. I said if you needed a little bit more time to work on it, that was fine with me. But what have I seen? Well, I spoke to you the other day about Vikran doing the Costa Concordia wreck, so he's done a good project on that with lots of information. Anthony also chose to look at the wreck of the Costa Concordia, which was a cruise ship that got into a lot of trouble in, I think, 2012, and there was lots of detail about those projects. Anthony, in yours, you did really good before and after shots, so you had photographs of the beautiful luxurious interior of the cruise liner, and then you had photos of it destroyed after the accident. So that was really cool. Jun Tong did me a great project that was a lot to do with ferries, and she spoke about I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the Seoul disaster, which was a ferry that sank off Korea a while ago. Lots of detail, lots of great pictures in that. Alva, you were looking at the Mary Rose, which was a very old Tudor shipwreck, which means it's from the Tudor times in England. The Mary Rose was the ship belonging to King Henry VIII, the king who's famous for having all the wives, and his ship sank about 500 years ago. The Mary Rose is a really interesting one because usually when a ship sinks that long ago, the structure of the ship erodes or deteriorates on the seabed and you don't get a lot of it left. But the Mary Rose was really well preserved, and it was so well preserved that in fact they went and they raised it from the seabed, and they have it in a museum in Portsmouth in England. And actually, when I worked as a diver, the captain of our ship, when he was a younger man, he had dived on the Mary Rose when it was still on the seabed, and actually because he was one of their best trained divers, when Prince Charles, who is the Queen of England's son, when he wanted to visit the Mary Rose, it was our ship captain who had to escort him down as a diver. So it's a really interesting ship. Another really interesting ship that we got a project in about was the Queen Anne's Revenge. That was the ship that belonged to Blackbeard the pirate, who people sometimes think is a fictional character, but he's not. He was a real person. So Belle Eliza did an excellent project on that. Sam was looking into the Titanic, and in your project, Sam, you kind of split it up by what research you'd done each day. So there were certain bits about the construction of the ship, there were certain bits about the fun facts, and certain bits about the sinking. So that was excellent, really interesting to look at. Patrick, you kind of did two projects. You did the Accra Action, which was a Greek cargo ship that sank. I was very interested by that because I'd never heard of that ship, so I learned something there. But you also did something on Right Reader about Violet Jessop, and she's an extremely interesting character from history. If you haven't heard of her before, she's possibly the luckiest or unluckiest woman in the world, depending on how you think of it, because she was on the Titanic and that sank, but she survived. And then she was on its sister ship, the Britannic, and that sank, but she survived. And she was also on the third sister ship, the Olympic, which didn't sink, but collided with another ship. So she survived 3 shipwrecks. So depending on what you think, she was either very lucky to survive them or she was very unlucky to be there in the first place. Elijah was looking at the Rainbow Warrior, which was the ship that Greenpeace used to use to go out and protest against, I suppose, wrongs against the environment, like nuclear testing. So that was really cool to see something that was linked in with that kind of activism, because I know in our class we're very interested in the environment. Tig, I spoke to yesterday about his project on the Empress of Ireland, and today I also saw, and we spoke about Casper's project on the Victory, and the other one I saw today was Seamus's project on the Queen Victoria, which was a cargo ship, well, a ship carrying cargo that had a collision with the cliffs off Howth, and it sank and it lies there. So, guys, I was really impressed with all of that, the amount of work that went into them, and also the fact that there were so many different ships. We'd only one where two people did a project on the same one, and even then their two projects were very different. So that was really cool. No Roscoe today. Roscoe is out for a walk with his other dog parents, so he won't be joining us today. So for now, that's all I have to say, except I know some of you asked would I share your projects on Seesaw, and I will, but I'm going to wait till next week because there's a few people who still want to send me projects, but they're not ready yet. So I'll be sharing those next week. But for now, it's time to find out who won Student of the Week, Gaeilgeoir na Seachtaine, and Post of the Week. So let's have a look. So, Student of the Week this week, that goes to Tig. Tig, I'm giving you this for two different reasons. Number one, your fantastic Coastal Regions project about Dingle. I know that was last week, but then you followed it this week with an equally fantastic project about the Empress of Ireland. So two huge effort projects in a row. I have to give you Student of the Week. You really deserve it. Now, Gaeilgeoir na Seachtaine goes to Lev. Lev, you've been doing a lot more work in Irish this week and last week. I've really admired how you've stepped up and been working really hard there. So that was fantastic to see. So Mahu Lev. Then, Post of the Week this week. Well, I think you all know who that's going to be. It's Vikran. Vikran, I think we all really enjoyed watching you play the Kahoot theme song on your keyboard. It was really good, and it was also quite funny that you had managed to figure out how to do it. So well done to you. So a big congratulations to those people and to everybody in the class. You've been doing fantastic work. Don't log on to Seesaw on Monday because it's a bank holiday, so there's not going to be anything there. But I will see you on Tuesday instead. Bye bye and enjoy the long weekend.